All right, perfect. So, guys, listen, I want to welcome everybody that's locked in today, that's really going into 2021 on a mission, has a vision, and really just ready to dominate the next level of their life. And today, this first training out of 3 today, I'm going to be training on leadership. I'm going to be training on social media, and then I'm going to be training on network marketing. It's the 3 areas that we're about to tighten up on the next 3 days that's going to tremendously launch your business to a whole nother level. Now, today, this particular training is leadership. What I want you guys to understand moving forward, right? We're going to draw a line in the sand. We don't teach people how to trade. We teach people how to lead. See, Chairman 750, the #1 earner in the world right now, David Imonitie, he says we need to focus on belief and leadership. Leadership is the highest paid profession. Belief, right, drives the leadership. Belief drives your goals. Whatever a man believeth in his heart, so is he. So in order to get to chairman, #1, you first have to believe, but you also got to lead 372 individuals. To go to chairman, you need belief and you need leadership. Has nothing to do with becoming a master trader. We're going to talk about that in our culture over the next 72 hours. Your goal, your job is to lead. Your job is to lead, and we're going to let the master educators teach their skill set. So let's talk about it. What I want you guys to understand starting off is that leadership, everything falls and rises on leadership. This is why we've been tapping into the book, Developing the Leader Within. See, you can't lead others if you can't lead yourself. No matter if you're at work, that's a leadership position. No matter if you're in a family, you're in a leadership position. If you're at church, that's a leadership position. No matter what you are part of, you play a significant amount of role in that leadership. Now, you may not be the leader, but you're a leader in terms of the system, the culture, the community. Are you guys with me? iMaster Academy is the visionary. Christopher Terry is the visionary, the chief officer. It's his visionary. He's leading this company. But we have other leaders, chairman leaders. David Imonitie, Alex Morton, Bryce Thompson. We have individuals that's not just leading their team, but they're stepping on behalf of the company to lead. Then it falls down to us. So there's layers to leadership. Everybody plays a role. So I want to give you guys this quote by John Maxwell before we dive right into what a leader is, and then also what type of culture we have to do as leaders to multiply this organization. See, what I want you guys, it's going to get deep today, but I want you guys to get these nuggets in your phone. See, John Maxwell says, leadership will add to your effectiveness, subtract from your weakness, divide your workload, and multiply your impact. Look at the word multiply your impact when God created us as a seed to multiply. So if you're not leading, how can you multiply? Leadership will add to your effectiveness. It's not about you being efficient in 2021. You can't kind of want it in 2021. You can't just kind of leave it up to chance in 2021. You just can't kind of do it in 2021. You got to do it with intentions for success. You got to do it with intentions to be duplicated. You got to do it with intentions to be thorough. So leadership will add to your effectiveness. In 2021, you can do less with more if you are effective. But then it's going to subtract from your weakness. See, it's not about what you can do. It's about what we can do. Everybody's gifted. God put a seed. There's difference. See, wisdom is the ability to recognize difference. And when you can understand that everybody's different and has gifts, it'll subtract from your weakness. Because where you're weak at, somebody else is, come on, strong at. But you got to understand leadership that'll put you in a position to put people in the right positions. If you went to LA, you've seen the example with us being in a boat. There's the captain speaking to the leaders, There's the head of the boat, the middle of the boat, there's the end of the boat. You got to understand that certain weaknesses are positioned inside of a boat, inside of a team that's going to literally be subtracted to make the team strong. So I want you guys to understand, we're going to be able to divide our workload. Over the next 12 months, we all not got to do a lot. We all have to do a little. There's going to be a commitment and accountability for us to divide the presentations, for us to divide the value we got to put out, for us to lead the calls, the quick start calls, the prezos, the trainings. We got to divide our workload so that we can multiply our impact. This is how we're going to grow a Chairman 100 organization, creating 15 plus chairmen in the year of 2021. Now, let's talk about what leaders are, okay? So if you're with me right now, drop a 2 in the chat box. Let me know if you're still cooking with me. Perfect, perfect, perfect. You guys are with me. Now let's talk about it. So the first thing I want to talk about today is leaders. I want to give you kind of a brief explanation of what a leader is. We're going to get into some points, and then I'm going to really give you the foundation of what a leader have to do. Number one, let's talk about leaders. See, in order to see a leader, you got to first become a leader. See, in order for you to see a leader, because listen, in order to have success in network marketing, you got to be able to develop leaders and help them have success. But in order to see a leader, you got to first become a leader. Are you with me? So here's what leaders are. Leaders are professional students of the business. If you got your notes, you're on your phone. Leaders are professional students of the business. They're always looking to learn and receive new information. Leaders are professional students. See, they say when a student is ready, the teacher will appear. What does that mean as a student? That means you're seeking, you're knocking, you're asking. There's a difference between being a protege and being a parasite. Proteges want what's in your heart, but a parasite wants what's in your hand. Are you with me? See, a protege, they're a professional student. They're going to be around you getting all of the sauce. They're going to be taking notes. They're going to be on all the Zoom calls getting the wisdom. They're going to go to the events. They're going to show up 90% of the time because they're seeking the information. They're seeking, they're knocking, and guess what? God honors your pursuit. See, pain is not going to change your circumstances right now. It's your pursuit that's going to change your circumstances. That's why the word says, knock and ye shall be open. Seek and ye shall find. Ask and ye shall receive. Asking starts the receiving process. So as a leader, you have to become a professional asker. Ask questions. Are you guys with me? You got to become a professional seeker. Seek knowledge. Now, the reason why you want to become a professional student, because as a leader, your role is to pour this information, this value into the next person. How can we multiply? See, the fruit is only as good as the root. And you can't teach nothing you don't study. Are you with me? You can't give, you can't pour out of your cup that's already empty. So your goal, your role, you got to get insanely obsessed with learning, studying the network marketing industry, studying the business, studying the charts. You got to become a person of increase. We talked about that. So as a leader, you got to become a professional student. Let me turn this heat down. You got to become a professional student. Now, here's what leaders do while they are a professional student. Here's help you identify it, and this is going to help you make sure, are you on course as a leader and doing the responsibilities? Because a lot of people, they want the title, but they don't want the responsibility that comes with it. A lot of people want the clout, but they don't want to take the route. A lot of people want the clout, but they don't want to take the route. And what I mean by not taking a route, they don't want to run the play. Are you with me? There's some things that's come with these titles. A lot of people want to be married. A lot of people want the wedding. A lot of people want the dress. A lot of people want the fancy wedding, but they don't want the responsibility of commitment, of working and toiling through a marriage. Responsibility. It comes with it. Okay? Because with great power comes great responsibility. Don't get obsessed with the title. Get obsessed with the responsibility. Now let's talk about it. Network marketing. Okay? Now, your number one goal, put this in your phone, number one. Your number one goal and objective as we get ready to impact 5,000 students in the year 2021 is to build leaders and make them successful. Our number one goal is to build leaders and make them successful. See, listen, if you're not building leaders, then you're busy replacing leaders. If you're not building leaders, you're going to be busy replacing people. You don't want to be busy replacing people. You want to be busy developing people. So your number one goal is to develop leaders. We got to make sure leaders become successful so that we can divide the workload, multiply our impact. Okay? See, there's a passing gap from David Imonitie to the new person that just signed up last night. There's a passion gap, right? A belief gap where leaders have to pass it all the way down. See, Christopher Terry has his hand in his heart with God. Christopher Terry has his other hand in David Imonitie's hand. David got his hand in Bryce Thompson's hand. Bryce Thompson got his hand in the next leader's hand, and so on and so forth. So what you have to understand is that we have to build leaders and make them successful. Now, number two, as a leader, never complain to your downline. As a leader, never complain to your downline. See, as a leader, you always got to be selling the vision. You got to always promote the vision. All the thing you're going to hear me say in 2021 is I'm so happy and grateful our organization has just expanded over 5,000 students worldwide. I'm always going to be talking about the vision. I got to see, as a leader, you can't be down in the trees, chopping down the trees with everybody else. You got to climb to the tallest tree and point the way. So you will de-edify the whole vision, the community, the platform, if you're talking negative to your downline. Because whatever you do duplicates. This is why your words, right? Your words have the power of life and death in the tongue. So real be careful about what you say, not just about the business, about what you say about the community, the culture, your life. Your tongue is dependent on it. So never complain. That means you just have a lack of gratitude. There's some people right now don't even know about this platform, so you don't even have nothing to complain about. There's some people that never took 10 cents to $5 in 30 minutes. So what is it to complain about when you have access? See, when you have access, that's a seed. But when you dishonor the seed, that's the reflection of your current financial situation. So never complain to the downline. Number three, you got to be a product of the product. If you are a leader, you got to be a product of a product. Are you with me? You got to be on the product. Your education has to be active. We can't ask students to do something that we're not willing to do ourselves. You can't ask people to go somewhere that you haven't been. Jay-Z said, everybody want to tell me how to do it, but they never done it. So you got to understand, you got to be a product of the product. Listen, your integrity is a seed. Your conviction. It's your trust. It's your belief. The reason why you're not believing at the level you need to, because you're not a product of the product. You don't even trust yourself. You ain't all in for you, so how can you pull somebody else up? If you're not all in for you, how can you pull somebody else up? Okay? So you got to go all in. See, what you're going to realize, some of you might be on a call right now, you saying, hey, I don't have it. This is that. I'm not in the space. Listen, if you just honor the instructions. See, what comes with the sacrifice is favor. And it's not that if you got it or not, it's about your belief. You don't have the money anyway. What are you believing for? But just take a second and really put this in perspective. If financially right now, if you don't have the funds to pay for education a month, what are you really believing for? And then we can trace those lack of funds to your ego. Because somewhere there's dishonor. There's somebody you're dishonoring. There's some instructions in your life that's dishonoring. So you have to be a product of the product. Are you with me? Now, the next thing, number 4, if you're a leader, you got to set goals and you got to have a vision. iMaster Academy, 1 million educators, 1 million, 1,000 chairmen, 1 million students, right? 1,000 chairmen. We know what their vision is. My personal vision, 5,000 students into New Levels, No Devils in 2021. Where does your vision fit into the vision? See, iMaster Academy said there's going to be 100 Chairman 100s. I said, yeah, I'm claiming that for 2021. Not only am I claiming that, what I'm really claiming is 15 chairmen I want to help personally break. So what is your vision inside of the vision? What is your vision? Because I'm about to get deep with this on this leadership, but you got to identify your vision. What's going to be your vision in 21? Is it chairwoman? Is it chairman? Is it P5? Is it P2? Where are you going? What are you going to set your GPS to as a leader? Okay, we all got to stand on the fact that we're going for 5,000 students in our organization. It's done. It's done. 0 to 100 real quick. Now, the next one. To be a leader, IBO, that means you're independent business owner. As a leader, you are an independent business owner. That means you have the ability to run your own opportunity meetings. That means nobody has to call you and micromanage you. That means that nobody has to consistently motivate you to share value, to get on the call, to do a presentation, to lead your team. Nobody has to manage you. You are proactive, not reactive. In the season of your life, not only do you have to take instructions, but as a leader, you got to give instructions. See, we've been conditioned all our life to work jobs, waiting on somebody to tell us what to do, what time we need to be here, what time we need to do this. Well, as an entrepreneur, a visionary, a leader, a chairman, you got to learn to bring things into existence. You got to learn to talk things, speak things into life. You got to be able to look at your organization, look at your platform, look at your organization, your business, and be able to fill in the void. Okay? That's number 5. You got to be able to run your own meetings. You're an independent business owner. There's nobody coming to save you. I've been in this business 3 years. Nobody never put nobody under me. Nobody never invested in me to do certain things. Nobody never took the time out. I don't get a phone call. So you got to understand that when you sign up, it's you and God. Get rid of the expectations that somebody owe you something. Your downline don't owe you nothing. Your upline don't owe you nothing. Your sideline don't owe you jack. It's you and God. But guess what? That's all you needed anyway. It's just you and God. Anything anybody else does is extra. You got to understand, David Emonetian says, hey, the vision will tarry. But the people that you need to operate in the vision may not even showed up yet. Don't build a world around people. Build a world around God and his vision. So you got to understand, as a leader, you got to be able to do your thing, but still be teachable and coachable and honor the access. Honor the mentorship. Okay? Now, as a leader, you got to have a positive mental attitude. Why? Because when I get into the foundation, I really start cooking next, this is very critical. You have to have a positive mental attitude. That means how you talk, how you come into the group chat, the energy that you transcribe through the phone, through your trainings. People don't need to see this, they got to feel this. So you got to have a positive mental attitude. Why? Because the vision will tarry. There's going to be some things we're going to go through on the road to servicing 5,000 customers. There's going to be some times we get sick. There's going to be some times some things break down. The cars, the setbacks, the people walking out of us. That's all a part of the process. Because God has to prepare you for your promise. God has to prepare you for the promise. It's not where we're going, it's who we're becoming. So you got to fall in love with the process, the responsibility of it. All of the setbacks, the promises, the breakdowns are just for you to create the wisdom to keep things in order. Everything that you lost last year, everything the breakdowns was a pain for change. It was just a seed for you to get some things in order. How many people took some L's last year in 2020? Drop a 7 in the chat box. If you had a setback, a 1 or 2 a setback, drop some 7s in the chat box. See, what you have to understand is that those setbacks were seeds. Those setbacks was a seed for change. God just letting you know, here's some things you got to get in order because God is obsessed with order. The whole Bible says, if you do this, I'll give you that. If you walk this way, I'll give you this. If you seek this, I'll give you that. It's order. It's order. So don't worry about what's in your hand so that God can release what's in his hands. So keep your positive mental attitude because you got to trust God. If you're going to be unstoppable in 2021, you can't kind of trust the word. You got to have a conviction that whatever God says is the truth. And we say the truth shall set you free. Listen, let me ask you something. We believe in a hell and a heaven, but why won't we believe that you can be financially free? Why is that such a hard thing to wrap our mind around, that God's already given us a birthright of abundance? See, as much as you can trust the chair you can sit in, you will trust the pilot with your life, but you won't trust God with your dreams. You would trust the pilot. You don't even second guess the pilot. You get on the plane, go right to your seat, look out the window. You already taking pictures, getting situated. You sleep before the pilot even take off. You got complete trust. But when it comes to your dreams, you can't sleep at night. We worried, we're stressed. So give the pilot, God, the same respect as you give man. Give it to his word. Because God is the source and the airplane is just the resource. So now the last one I want you guys to have before we really turn it up. I want you guys to understand that you got to be the example. You got to show and tell. Listen, you got to be example for the next 5,000 students to study. This is why the Bible says, study and show yourself approved. Well, I got to show and tell. I got to be on the calls. I got to be on the trainings. I got to plug in. I got to help my team. I got to develop. I got to train. You got to show and tell. You. Okay? Because listen, a lot of people gonna talk, but I don't listen to people what they say. I watch what people do. And this is how you're gonna build trust. Now let's get into it. So the last point I want you guys to understand, you got to show and tell. Leadership is about you being an example. Leadership is about you being an example. This is why God sent Jesus to earth, to be an example of what it looks like to be disciplined, to be focused, to bring out a mission. Okay? Now, let's talk about it. Now, I want to get heavy into this. Okay? I want to talk about, now let's shift gears. I want you guys to put this in your notes. Let's talk about the foundation of leadership. Let's talk about the foundation of leadership. Now that we got some examples on how we need to cook up, how we need to be, how we need to develop, Let's talk about the foundation of leadership, which is influence. It's your posture, it's your influence. How do we influence people to push them and achieve their dreams? See, let me help you guys with something real quick. Right now, if you know your purpose in life, drop a 2 in the chat box. No matter of fact, if you don't know your purpose, drop a 2 in the chat box for me real quick. And it's okay, just be real, family. If you don't know your purpose in life right now, if you're not 100% clear, just drop a 2 in the chat box. So I want to help you. I want to help you. If you're not clear. Okay? If you're not clear, just drop a 2. Now, let me tell you guys, let me break this down. Everything God created solves a problem. Everything that God has created solves a problem. Your hands, they pick up things that solve a problem. Your eyes, they need to be able to focus and see things. This water, right? We're made of water. The body is 70% water. Solves the problem. Somebody made a water bottle. Everything, your keys, solves the problem. Your bed, so you're going to sleep on the floor. Everything that God has created solves a problem. So if you're made in God's image, you are here to solve problems. Your assignment is the problems you solve. Your dreams is the reward you get for the problems you solve. Let me say this again. Let me help y'all. Your assignment is the problems you solve. Your reward, the bag, the money, the finances, the new house, the new cars, is the byproduct of the problems that you solve. Are you with me? Now, you say, T, that makes sense, but break it down more. If you in New Levels, No Devils, your purpose is to help individuals achieve abundance through God's spiritual laws. If you in New Levels, No Devils, your purpose is to help people solve their problems by introducing them to God's spiritual laws in a vehicle for growth. If you caught that, drop a 1 in the chat box. If you caught that, drop a 1 in the chat box. So what's my purpose in this organization? To help people solve their problems through God's laws. That means I'm going to help people grow spiritually, mentally, and financially. How? Spiritually through God's principles, the source. Mentally through the mindset, the personal development. And financially through the Forex vehicle. Now, if you got some clarity, drop a 7 in the chat box. Let me know where my hitters is at. If you got some clarity, drop a 7 in the chat box. Let me know where my hitters is at. You are here. Listen. If we're made in his image and God and Jesus came and spoke to the blind, deaf, and the dumb, well, that's the same thing we're doing, except they're blind, deaf, and dumb financially, mentally, and spiritually. They're blind. They don't see no opportunities. They're blind. The blind. Listen, take it out of the Bible sense. It's not, come on, it's symbolism. If they're blind, they don't see, they don't have a vision. 95% of the world don't have a vision. They're employees, they don't have goals. So we're looking to take the 95% and bring them into the 1%. For those who don't lack vision. The deaf, for those who need mentorship. They can't hear. They don't have a voice. It's you. The dumb, the ignorant. You got to stimulate their mind. That's you. You're here, 2021, to represent and raise up the blind, deaf, and dumb spiritually, mentally, and financially. That's your purpose. Now, here's what you got to understand. Here's how we base this foundation. Everything, I want y'all to write these 3 things down. Everything that we're doing has to revolve energy, love, and expectations. Everything that's based in a foundation has to have energy, love, and expectations. We got to train our culture on energy, love, and expectations. Hold on, let me say this. Everything I'm about to do in 2021 is about to be heavy on the repetition. Why? Because how you train individuals is through repetition. Listen, let me tell you how critical training is. Who you train today is going to determine your comfort down the road. Jesus came back to earth. Jesus was sent to earth, and he spent 3.5 hours a day training 12 people. He trained 12 people to go change the world. Training is the foundation of your success. You are where you at right now because of your current training. You're not where you want to be yet because of your training. So who you're going to pour into now, who you're going to develop now, who you're going to train now is going to determine your lifestyle next summer. It's going to determine next year if you're making reservations or resolutions. It's going to determine whether you buy $1 million house next summer or $100,000 house next summer. All based on your training. Because remember, we're seed and we're here to multiply, but if the soil, the environment did not produce enough leadership, then our harvest is going to fall short. So we got to build our harvest, our culture, and energy. T, what do you mean by energy? Get back to the chairman screams. Yeah. Guess what? Every time I get on the phone with you, I'm going to ask you for a scream. Guess what? You know I don't care about you being next to your mom. My mom is asleep. That's okay. Screaming anyway. Might split my kids' bed. That's okay. Yell it out one time. Energy. High energy is high income. See, listen, watch this. Because you stopped screaming, your income did too. See, we say when the praises go up, the blessings come down. See, that's your energy. If it's high energy, high income, well, you ain't been screaming lately, but then your bank account probably been leaning lately. So get back to the voice. Get back to the energy. We got to put that energy out. We got to give it out. They got to know when new levels, no devils, when we walk into a building, they got to know we in a building. They going to feel our energy before we even say something, but they going to hear us. They going to see us. They going to hear us. They going to feel us. That all comes through energy. Nobody is going to move like new levels, no devils. Because we're built on energy. We don't have a now. We got a right now. Energy. Bring it. Now. We're going to chairman scream our butt off all 2021. Start now. Starting now. Not now. Not now, team, but when. Not now, team, but when.
Right now.
Right. Come on. Now watch this. After we build it on energy. Why? Because people pick up frequencies. The reason why you ain't at the bag yet, because you ain't at the frequency yet. Money is not attracted to silence. There's a guy in another, he just switched teams. He went to another company. The name of his organization is Mute Money. Mute Money. It's called love, but why would you want to be muted? Like, money is attracted to attention. Money is attracted to energy. It's a vibration. That's why your emotions have to be in motion. That's why you got to stay moving. Get up. Move. This is why this is why it's spiritual for me that when I'm sitting still, I feel boxed in. The bag ain't coming and knock on your door. Move. Get up. This is why working out, transformation, it gets our body moving. It gets us in a frequency. The money is up here. You can't vibe down here. Now, that's energy. The second thing we got to do for our culture is we got to love on each other. Don't get off the phone without telling them you love them. Period. Because listen, in order to lead somebody, you got to love somebody. You can't generally help somebody that you don't love. So moving forward, leaders, don't get off the phone without telling somebody you love them. Don't get off the phone. I don't care if it's a text message, a FaceTime, Zoom. Love you, chairman screen. Love is going to get us through to where we need to go. This is family. Do y'all know the type? Listen, you know what I mean? Y'all gonna start hearing it, but see, once you've been in long enough, you're gonna see different organizations and they feel like outsiders in their own team. You're gonna start hearing from other organizations like, damn, man, I love how y'all team rock. It feels like a family. You know how it feel like a family? Because it starts with the leadership. We got to give each other some things that some people don't even get. Listen, there's some people on this call right now got more Merry Christmases from the team than they did from their family. It's some people that get more love from a customer on the team than they get from somebody that gave birth to them. So you got to love on each other. That's why we entertaining no strife in 2021. Don't call me about no strife. Let's figure out how to love. Love it out of them then. Either you're going to love them or you're going to leave them alone. Listen, if you don't like me, you don't have to. Just love me. You ain't got to like them. You got to love them. But the blessing is you can love some people from a distance. Hey, I'm going to love you alone. It's some people in 21 that you're going to have to love alone, y'all. Whatever you feed won't die. You keep feeding it. It ain't going to die. Just love them alone. So we got to love on our team. Stop chasing the bag. Chase the purpose. Our people. The relationship is going to get us the bag. We got to make sure people hit their goals through love. What is it that you want? Guess what? When I hear your excuse out of love, I got to tell you, get over yourself. When I hear the words, I can't, out of love, I got to tell you, you tweaking. Out of love, I can't be afraid to hurt your feelings. Hey, you know what? You could have did a better job at how you did that presentation. Hey, you know what? I don't even think you should have wore that today. That's not how we represented New Levels, No Doubles. Because presentation is a seed, and you're not looking like somebody that people need to sign up with. Ladies, you got to check each other. Hey, somebody need to have that on. They don't need to have that on. Fellas, we got to check each other. You don't need to have that on. You need to have that on. But that's love. Somebody out of order, you got to love them and tell them, hey, listen, you was out of order. Hey, out of love, you've been late to all of our appointments. Out of love, I can't work with you no more until you can respect my time. That's out of love, though. Don't take it personal. That's out of love. So you got to put people over profits. People over profits. Now, the next one is expectations. Listen, if we're going to build this billion-dollar culture with energy, with love, we got to have expectations. If you don't know what you want, how you going to lead somebody to their dreams? If you're not clear on what is it that you want, what are you expecting a new student to do? Think about it. If you're not showing up, if you sometimes, how can you expect a new student to be fully committed if you're not fully committed? Raise the expectations. We got to break platinum 150s in 7 days. Get people paid in 24 hours in the first 7 days. I'm telling people's expectations. Why? Because when a new student joins, my word is their world. Listen, when God brought you to earth, when God created you, his word is your world. Then why come when you bring a new student in, you don't place the right words in them? You don't set the expectation. Listen, God told you that you can speak things into existence. He gave you your expectations at birth that you have an abundance. You would do more than me. You are better than me, made in my image, that you will run and rule the world. But when people come in, we don't give them a word. You got to pour some expectations in them. Hey, come in, get in this bag in your first 24 hours. Then we're going to run you to platinum 150 in your first 7 days. That's the word in our culture. The word is going to create our world. Let me tell y'all, if you're not going to run into platinum 150 in 7 days, they already quit. See, you say, oh, T, you said people don't quit to the 70 days, to 70 days. No, they don't turn their subscription off to 70 days, but they quit on you the first week. They don't turn their auto package off every month until 70 days. But they quit on you the first week. Why? Because of your word. Your expectations was too low enough. They're coming in as average. They're coming in as, they're not on the energy that we have. They never got the love that we give. They don't have the proper expectations in life. So you got to give them the word in the first 7 days. You got to speak life into them. Then you got to go to war for them to hit it. It's not about you. Y'all don't understand how hurt I was to be down for a week and a half. I'm still getting those Zooms, doing a silent Zoom 2-3 times a day. Can't even speak, thrown on fire. Still doing a Zoom. Still texting, calling. What's going on the trips? What do y'all think about this? How do y'all feel about this? What's the move for this? Then I put 15 trainers down. I said, well, if I can't talk, I can still write, God. If I can't talk, I can still write because I got a lot of love to give. Then soon as I come out of getting my health, almost 100%, I'm training 3 times a day, 3 days straight. Why? Because I got big expectations for the people I love. Because I know if I'm asking God for $5 million next year, I got some high expectations for the people I love. I got some high expectations for the people I love. Now, if that made sense, drop a 7 in the chat box. Let me know we good so that I can close us out. I got to give us this last sauce. Next, I'm going to MLM today. I'm about to give you the game, and then I'm going to teach you how to brand yourself on social media. About to give you the game. Now, how do we bring this foundation together? We got to show people that we care. Write this down. CARE stands for create authentic relationships and experiences. CARE. Create authentic relationships and experiences. CARE. Create. Your number one goal in life is to create. Why? Because you're God's son and daughter. Before he talked about love and made man, he was already creating. God put a seed of increase in you. That's why you never settling with nothing. Soon as you got that job, 3 months later, you wanted a raise. Soon as you got in that relationship, you're like, man, this got to be better than this. Soon as you got the new phone, you already thinking about the next phone. There's a seed of increase in you that you can't run from. It's already instilled with you. You got to create authentic. That means we love each other enough to be real, humble, humility, no ego, relationships. Listen, I can't love you. I can't lead you if I can't love you. Leaders have a magnet in their heart and a compass in their hand. Leaders have a magnet in their heart and a compass in their hand, and then the experiences. Now, let's get deep. Do y'all want the chairman blueprint? Drop a 4 in the chat box if you want the chairman blueprint. And that's actually the second trainer, but let me give it to you. If y'all want to know how to change people like overnight? If y'all just drop a 4 if you want to know how to change people overnight. So watch this. Watch this. It's 3 things that you got to do to change somebody overnight. 3 things that we got to lock in on that's going to drive us to chairman in no time. Watch this. Write this in your notes. Put it in your phone. Team, don't drift off on me right now. Don't drift out. Come back. I need y'all to come back. Information is a seed, and this is the most important part of the training. I need y'all to honor this seed because once this seed get in you and you water it, it's game over. 3 things I need y'all to write down. It's been on my spirit. Number 1 is exposure. Number 2 is the mindset. Number 3 is confidence. Number 1 is exposure. Number 2 is the mindset. Number 3 is confidence. Watch this. A couple of weeks ago, we went to LA for our spiritual retreat. And number 1, about 15 students, team, got a chance to be exposed to a $1.8 million house. Not just a $1.8 million house, but driving foreigns, being in an environment of multimillionaires. It exposed them to something. Now watch this. Exposure creates experience. And you can't believe nothing you've never experienced. You can't believe nothing you have not experienced. You didn't know sex was lit until you experienced having sex. You didn't know juking and going to parties was lit until you experienced juking and going to parties. So in order to change people's paradigm, they need some experiences. So as a leader, you got to always be driven to create experiences for your team, to raise their belief, because we're not focusing on the skill set. That's 10%. They can copy and paste and make more money than a master trader. Seriously. That's what the whole platform is for. To leverage $1 million educators who send out moves all day. You can copy and paste and run a bag up. We're here to teach belief and leadership. Exposure. You got to expose some people to some new things. Why? Because their paradigm is average. So how they going to run a chairman with a $30,000 mindset? Let me ask y'all something. How people going to run a chairman when they have a comfort zone around $30,000 a year? And that's before taxes. They can't. They have enough exposure. They don't know if it's real enough. But see, when you expose them to more, to bigger, the way the mind work is once you get exposed, you can't come back. But so some of our leaders, Dre, Demisha, and Shari, it was their second time going. So the first time opened up the door, the second time kicked it down. For me, the first time was lit, but it hit me the second time, not the house, but when I had to leave her house to go down to Bel Air and then look back at her house like, that's it. I talked to Dr. Bailey yesterday, and these were the words that came out of my mouth. I said, mentor, on my brokest days, I live at your crib. We talked for an hour. She said, now you got it, T. I said, on my brokest day, I said, if I lost it all, I'll live at your house, Dr. Baker. See, you got to have this type of frequency attitude that if I lost it all, I'll settle for 1.8 million. But how can I settle for Dr. Bailey crib when we went an hour away and looked at cribs that was 500 million? It makes her crib look like a guest house. Are y'all with me? My comfort zone is out of this world. Even I'm in the chairman factory, I'm not here mentally. I'm not here spiritually because 24 hours a day, I'm looking at mansions and Airbnbs. I am not here mentally. My body is here, but my mind and my frequency is gone. This is why I'm going to be gone. Why? Because the body follows the what? The mind. T, why are you traveling so much? It's because I'm already gone. Why are you always on the road? It's because my mind is already gone. I'm on vacation right now. My body just haven't packed yet. I want y'all to get this. This is why we're traveling, trading, and transforming. Because of the experiences. You can't sit in Chicago next year and want to go chairman. You need some experiences. You got to be exposed. You got to get your hunger up. I don't want little stuff no more. But see, you keep fighting the giver in God. God trying to give you so much, but you fighting him. Why would you argue with a giver? Why you keep questioning and arguing with a giver? People been trying to bless you, pour things into you, pull you out of your comfort zone, but you fighting to stay in the same place. Honor the seed, honor the information, so you can have the exposure. Now, that's the exposure, the experience. Number two is the mindset. Let me tell you what Dr. Bailey did. So we go to LA. Now, you see it's possible to be in a $1.8 million house. So while we're there, she works on the mindset. When is the best time to work on the mindset? While you in the moment. Well, now that you got this shock, oh, wow, damn. This $1.8 million houses? Perfect. Let's work on your mindset. So what do we do the whole week? Mindset, 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 mindset. Because the Bible says, by the renewal of your mind. That means you got to unlearn some things. That means you got to unroot some things, because that same soil is not going to be good enough for the seeds God's trying to plant. So you got to renew your mind. That's what we're doing with our students. Pouring mindset, increasing them, teaching them how to think. We're not teaching people how to trade. We're teaching people how to believe. You've never heard David Imonite talk about the charts. All he talk about is the heart. Never talked about the charts. Never heard him say, I caught 30 pips today. But he made $8 million in the last 90 days while his business is in the pullback. Hello. Hello. It's mindset. People who really build the chairmen, they're not thinking about trading. They were supposed to. What are we paying the educators for if you got to think about trading? What are we paying the educators for if we got to think about trading? This is why our system has to be dummy-proof. We're doing too much thinking and not enough believing. That's why you keep thinking yourself out of the belief. Simple. It's been overcomplicated. So we got to work on your mindset, because the mindset is one of the 7 spiritual laws that you gotta master. Your mind needs instructions, it needs a model, and it needs focus. It needs order. Order. Today, once I get out this, I just got back to the house. I'm cleaning my room up top to down, going into my trunk, cleaning it out, paying all my tickets before the first. get all my life in order because God is obsessed with order. So I'm planting seeds. Hey, God, I want all my 5 million, not some of my 5 million. I want all of my 5 million next year. So let me show you what I'm going to do. I'm about to get in order because increase follows order and wisdom is the principle. You got to get obsessed with order in your life. You got to be obsessed with a routine. People need a routine. They need a checklist and they need rewards. You need a routine. What you do daily determines what you do permanently. What's your routine? You got to master the mundane, the little stuff, the order. That's why we say the devil is in the details. He is, because if you don't get down to the details, that's where your order is at. And if you out of order, there's the devil. And the devil is just a reflection of your ignorance. This is how he takes ownership of you because you want to be ignorant. You don't want to learn. So it's about your mindset. Every battle you about to go through in 21 is a battle for your mind. It's wisdom. It's wisdom. God, listen, the devil is going to try to punk you out the promise. It's the battle. Number 3 is confidence. Now, all while we were there, she was instilling confidence in us. You can do it. Giving us live stories, giving us live examples, building in examples in us, giving us confidence. When we walked out the house, it was like, I'm ready to do this. We got to instill, how do we instill confidence in people? That's leadership. You got to let go and let them lead. I ain't afraid to, I told Demisha yesterday, we're not going to be in the same room no more. Because if I'm in a room with you, how you going to glow like you need to glow? Shari, all my leaders. We got to cover a lot of ground next year, and we don't need to be in the same room. That's a waste. I need to be on the East Coast while you're on the West Coast. I need to be on the South. I need to be down South while you up North. We got to impact 5,000 people, so we got to divide and conquer. We got to multiply. So now this is going to give you the confidence. You don't need me. It's always been in you. You got this. You can lead a call. You can lead a training. You can lead people to our vision of 5,000 students in 2021. That's the vision. We about to blaze a trail the whole year of 21. So I wanted to get on this call today and lay down the leadership sauce for you guys. Because this is just the tipping. The next call, I'm going to talk about what we have to do daily as leaders. Your routine. I'm about to get us tight. I'm about to light us up. I'm about to teach you how to brand yourself today. I'm about to teach you how to work your social media. I'm about to teach you how to build a business. You just got to honor the seed. You just got to show up to receive it. Are you with me? Family, I love you guys. If you got some value from today's call, drop a 333 in the chat box if this made sense to you. Just want to make sure we're good, family.